Hi y'all, today I'm going to be reviewing A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. This was another booktube book find for me. Several booktubers that I follow reviewed this book and had good opinions on it, and so I picked it up on ebook. So this is a contemporary romance, modern day fairy tale that hits all of the popular keywords right now. I'm going to call this a cross between Cinderella and Black Panther, and as far as content goes on the romance end of things, there are 2 short sex scenes, and they are explicit. This is technically erotica, but I'm going to put it on the cooler side of the heat scale. I think this would be a really good book for someone who primarily reads YA and is looking to dip their toe into the adult romance erotica genre, particularly if you're on the nerdy side, like me. It's really geeky. There are scientific jokes and nerd speak throughout. A lot of research clearly went into this. Alyssa Cole herself does not have a background in science, so I can tell there were a lot of beta readers who did, who worked over this and did a really good job of making sure all the jokes made sense. Who does not love a good protein encapsulated phospholipid bilayer joke? I mean, I do. And it is just so annoying when people get this wrong. How hard is it to get a phospholipid bilayer joke right? So the opening scene to this book is one of my favorites that I've read. It is hilarious, and it only gets funnier the further in the book that you get, and you get the backstory behind everything. I won't give away any spoilers, but there's a series of emails that we've all gotten, but in her case, they tend to be true.
So what do you do for a living?
I think you know what I do.
You're a Nigerian scammer.
You can just say scammer.
Now the writing in this book is very strong, the premise is fantastic, but there are problems with character. For example, the heroine is kinda perfect. She is exceptionally smart, driven, self-sufficient, and self-disciplined. She's really a pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of person. Except that her inner monologue is very self-deprecating. She has very low self-esteem, and this is a very large part of the narrative of the book. Her inner monologue does not reflect her accomplishments at all. And now it's entirely possible for someone this well accomplished to have self-esteem issues and to have these sorts of inner thoughts, but with the extent that it's portrayed in the book, considering that's all she thinks about and it's the only things that go through her head, I would expect this sort of self-defeating thought process to leak into her actions, but that doesn't happen. She maintains her job, she gets her responsibilities taken care of, she doesn't drink, she's frugal with her spending. She does have problems setting boundaries with her friendships, and she does have some problems with authority figures, but nothing that extreme, and honestly, those aren't even really character flaws. Those are just issues that we've all got to learn how to work around, and at about the same time in life that she's learning how to do that. It was disappointing to me to have such an admirable character so out of sync with her own thought process. She has done so much, and she has worked so hard and accomplished so much, and she spends all of her energy whining. At the same time, the hero's main issue seems to be that he's dumb. His biggest flaw is portrayed in the book as being that he sometimes forgets to say thank you, and he isn't very gracious to his servants. And honestly, he's just sort of dumb. The man can figure out how to get rid of his trained bodyguards and then go survive in the winter wilderness for several days just fine. But then he can't figure out how to follow a dummy-proof dinner instruction kit. I mean, it's basically Hamburger Helper. How do you screw up Hamburger Helper? I did enjoy getting to explore the Wakanda-like African hidden nation, except that it wasn't in Hidden Nation. See, in Black Panther, they got away with a lot of plot holes by making Wakanda unknown. So Wakanda could be technologically advanced. They could have all of these amazing things and amazing advancements and technology and still be unknown in the world because they had purposefully been hidden. In this book, the country is a leader in renewable energy, and it's explicitly stated that they have the most advanced medical technology in the world. Now that's fine, except that our main heroine has to go there at some point to help figure out some pathogen that's about to become an epidemic, and she's a student in a New York school of entomology. And when she tells her professors and her colleagues and her supervisors that she's going to this nation, they have no idea where she's going, and they all expect her to be going to a third world country. If this small African country really does have the most advanced medical technology in the world, I would expect at least one member of a New York school of entomology to be passingly familiar with it. And then this country, which is a leader in renewable energy and has all this medical technology, they ride in on a donkey. There were world-building issues. Now, that being said, the mixture of modern and traditional culture, of the mixture of desire to remain close to their roots and the desire to modernize all the different traditions, that was very well done, and I had a lot of fun exploring that in the book. The people felt very real. Each individual had their own unique take on the situation. This was not a one-hat country, and it was very well done, I thought. As far as rating goes, this was a solid 4-star for me, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a little geeky like me, if you're looking to dip your toes into the romance genre. It was a lot of fun, and I love the geek speak. So that's all from me today. Have you read A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole? And if not, do you want to read it now? What are your thoughts? Talk to me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And until then, bye-bye. It is just so uncouth when they get it wrong. I'm gonna call it a cross between Cinderella and How hard is it?